There you are. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for joining the conversation.
Yeah, let me get me up so you can see my whole head. Hi.
So excited to be doing this. We'll have to get into how you and I know each other.
I adore you
Oh my
so
gosh,
much.
I adore you too, which is why I'm so excited that you're here today. And welcome to everybody. Great way to end the week, right? Great way to end the week. So welcome to the Midas Mighty community, your community. I don't think you need any introduction, but if anybody has not seen your videos, you know how to you make the absurd funny. I don't know how you do it because so much of the news, frankly, is not funny. Right? I mean, it's so disturbing, but I'm like, oh, what is Maggie saying on this? And you have found a way to just make us laugh. So real quickly, I want to just talk about where you got your start. You've been doing this for quite a while and it's interesting. So you started out as a speech therapist.
Yeah, I was a speech therapist for 12 years. I graduated my undergrad in 3 years, and then I went on, I got a second bachelor's degree and then my master's degree. I was a working professional by 24.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
I worked with all sorts of children aging from birth to 18. I worked with some adults as well. I kind of hopped around, but I mainly focused on working in schools. I worked with, special needs children, children with visual impairments, hearing impairments, autism, you name it. So, multiple, disabilities. And then I had my own kids. I took a little time off and COVID hit. And I was like, well, this is the perfect time to do something new and do something that I've always wanted to do, because I was a theater major in my undergraduate.
Oh my gosh, I love it. And there's some comments there. Maggie's my favorite creator. She makes us laugh. Love that. I do feel like your community is like, just, they have your back, right? Like I could just see it, that you have like the strongest community.
They are the best. And let me tell you, being online is not for the faint of heart. It is, a quite wicked place, especially to be doing political comedy. And these people are witty, funny, supportive, loving. And honestly, I do this for them, but I also do it for me. Laughing through this madness is what's going to get us through. And, it's a proven fact that satire and comedy and making fun of, fascism is a great way to fight it. So, we're all doing our work. We can't just be angry all the time and sad all the time. I feel those things every single day, especially as a parent, but turning it around. And you said the word absurdity. I think of myself as a comedian, but I do comedy of the absurd, because I make fun of things that are so absurd, but nothing I say is any less untruthful than the absurdity that and the lies that are coming out of this administration. So really,
it's crazy. It's crazy. But the funny thing is, like, what you kind of said earlier, like how powerful it is to laugh at it. And Trump knows that himself, right? That's why he comes up with all of his nicknames, right? His nicknames have frankly gotten a lot worse. Calling Ossoff Pee-wee Herman, I'm like, okay, this may be the best example of your cognitive decline because it's not a good one. But he understood that coming up with a nickname that perhaps was a little funny was an effective way to kind of take down the opposition.
Well, you saw him trying to do stand-up comedy at the White House or the journalist, what's it called again?
Yeah, the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
White House Correspondents, I knew that, okay. White House Correspondents' Dinner. When he got up and tried to do jokes, which, is not easy, getting up and doing stand-up. Getting up and, reiterating somebody else's jokes is even worse, because if you don't get the punchline, you're going to fail. And he failed pretty miserably, but he thinks he's funny. And people are always saying, oh, Donald Trump is this funny guy. Well, maybe situationally, like, he makes fun of people with nicknames and stuff, but he really doesn't have the the gift. You know what I mean? So
And, yeah, and I
keep
heard
trying.
somebody say it's because he can't be self-deprecating. That like a true comedian has to be
Yes.
able to, yeah. Which I mean, I thought that
Well,
was kind
that's
of
the thing. He
interesting
wants
too.
adoration and he wants people to think he's funny. But you also have to like poke fun of yourself. You have to poke fun of situations. He doesn't like things that, his funny is calling John Ossoff Pee Wee Herman. Good one, man.
Right. I
Stick
know.
to your
I'm
day
like,
job.
who?
Actually, don't do that either. Don't. Ugh.
Yeah.
Find a new job.
I don't like his day job. I know, really. It's like a 10 to 12 because he's sleeping otherwise the whole time anyway.
Or doing renovations. He's really good at
Yeah.
flagpoles.
Really good at black balls. Oh my gosh. I mean, somebody also mentioned here how much they liked your wigs. And,
They're right there.
that kind of goes into being a female creator. I think there's like a special place, I don't know where, what location, because it's one thing to be a social media creator and it's a whole other thing to be a female social media creator. I can't even imagine. I mean, I'm just like the straight-laced, like lawyer person who really sometimes is just talking about a legal
A
case,
straight-laced lawyer. Dina, you're brilliant, and we need your commentary and your expertise in this life. I can't do what I do without smarty patooties like
Aw,
you, okay?
that's so
Like,
sweet. That's so sweet.
it's the truth. It's the truth.
But,
We all get something from one another, and Lord knows I could never lawyer. So,
okay, I
girl,
like
you got
that. I
this.
like that. We had to partner. We got to stick together. But the fact is, you really put yourself out there, which takes a whole other level of bravery. I mean, and been doing it for years, and obviously becoming more successful. But becoming more successful, I imagine, also brings out, the MAGAs and etc. darn liking the successful female taking down their Trump and honestly being so pretty. That can't help because their whole thing is liberal women like are unattractive, and you are a perfect example of that
But
not being true.
But you know what? Listen, it doesn't bother me because everything that they ever come at me with is always some ad hominem. You're ugly. Your lips. Blah, 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 blah. Like, honestly, I'm married with 2 children. I couldn't care less what you think of what I look like or what but the fact that you can't even counteract what I'm saying with an actual fact or anything, and you have to go to looks or go to, something that has nothing to do with anything. It's another whataboutism. It makes me win every time. So,
How did you get that self-confidence? For whoever's a female on this, maybe put your heart or something, because maybe you can spread
Listen,
your advice because even if we're not social media creators, there's always somebody you're going to judge us as we're walking down the street. How on earth did you get to a point where you're like, I don't care if I get 1,000 X people saying what?
okay, so, when I first started out, I think my first TikTok video, good Lord, I hope I've deleted it by now, but it's like, hi, just want to know if anyone wants to be my friend. Like it was, listen, it takes time to get used to it. Now, I mean, I don't know if you've seen my latest video. I'm changing Donald Trump's diaper. So, you go from, I think in the very end, I'm a girl mom and I want my kids to be fearless. And as I've done this job and I've been working through social media, I've realized that being fearless and taking chances is rewarding and it makes people happy and it speaks to a larger truth about what's going on in politics right now. So the bolder I am, the more eyes I can get on a certain subject, or we can, coalesce around, being angry at the same time together. But fearlessness, we have nothing to lose at this point. Right? We're already living in hell for the most part here. So, we have nothing left to lose. I say
love
go
that.
for it.
I like that. That's like a new philosophy. You got nothing else to lose and you just have to go for it. I mean, you mentioned your girls and you have posted recently about how really you are doing this for them.
Oh, yeah. I'm honestly, and my oldest daughter is going to her first middle school dance tonight.
Aww. High school is fun. Oh my gosh, middle school is not fun. Okay, is she just starting or is she ending middle
We
school?
started last week, so it's so far so good. You know, last night I was helping her with vocabulary and picking out clothes for, picture day. We've got a great relationship, so holding on to that as long as I can. But, comedy is something that my
Mm-hmm.
kids get too. And, they've got a great sense of humor. So I'm proud of them for that. When they make really good jokes, I'm like, girls, I couldn't be more proud of you. They
Yeah.
get the sarcasm, they get that, which is a great part of pragmatics.
Mm-hmm.
But, besides comedy, I'm fighting against fascism right now. We are all fighting against this machine that has been going on for 10 years. It's just unstoppable. And, knowing that you can come together as a community is something that I want to instill in my children. I want them to know the right history. I want them to know what it means to stand up for people that need help or to, do what's right.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's
Mm-hmm.
it. That's it.
Well, that's what I love because I mean, and I said in the promo how you have mastered the look because I love how sometimes you actually don't even need to say something. You just look at exactly there you go, exactly the right time and the right way, and we all know exactly what you mean. But it's just oh gosh, I almost lost my train of thought there for a second. But it's like not just. I was reading some of these comments. First of all, everybody is just, you really do have such an adoring community, which I think is so cool. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Not only do you have the looks and obviously your jokes, but your values really come out in your posts,
Thank you.
and I feel like that's important too, because that's what they're trying to take from us, right? They want us to marginalize certain communities. They want us to pick on each other. They want us to be mean, I think that you managed to make us laugh and make it absurd, but at the same time, we can see still that you're standing up for marginalized
Well, I will
groups and how
always
much you care.
stand 10 toes deep for our marginalized communities, for any marginalized group. Listen, the Trump administration does a really good job at hypocrisy. It's literally their game. They put the family forward. They do. We're such great, religious people. But at the end of the day, they are the ones that are hurting people. They're not accepting of people. It's just mind-boggling. I was watching the new transportation secretary's new series.
Oh, yeah.
I did a video on that this morning because I was literally just, all the things that are going on. Bring me to tears all the time. I mean, as a mother, you can't look at the world right now and not be like, okay, but you weep, you move on, keep going. And, watching that, the hypocrisy of it all. Traveling through America on the taxpayer's dime. Also, the corruption that's behind the people that are also, producing it. And then you're just showing these great parts of America when so much of America is fucking suffering suffering right now. There's so much bad happening. And it's from the Trump administration. And, racism is still rampant and even worse than ever right now. We've got our climate is being decimated. We have our national parks, horses. I mean, all of it. It's heartbreaking. But for them, they put this front out like, oh no, we're good. Let's just ignore all that stuff and talk about, let's go see a Ferris wheel. It's the ultimate gaslighting all the time. The hypocrisy and the gaslighting. It's enough to drive you crazy.
And that comment about him trying to discourage his daughter from going to Harvard, right? I mean, here's the thing is we're talking about you doing resistance, but really you being a female that is able to communicate like an opposition message to hundreds of thousands of people is exactly the thing that scares them and threatens them. Otherwise, you wouldn't try to get your daughter to not get a college education. When you are working alongside somebody like J.D. Vance, who got where he is because he went to Harvard, you're working alongside Pete Hegseth, who got where he is, right? Because he went, I think it was to Princeton. So he knows what he's taking away from his daughter.
Oh, yeah. It's sad to watch. But you also see in her face okay. Listen, I don't know much about parenting. I'm working my way through it, but I do know when you tell your kids not to do something, they're going to do it. So you know what? By all means, keep going, Sean Duffy.
Ooh, that's a good point. She might join the resistance at some point.
Hey, my reverse psychology on my kids, I say, kids, rules are meant to be broken. That's and they're like, no, Mom, no. See? Reverse psychology.
But it is really, that's such a good point. And it's why their whole system cannot work. Because when you try to control people by limiting their message or trying to shame them into thinking a certain thing or whatever, it just doesn't work. No. This is why we have free speech, even though we allow speech we don't like. Because you can't really control the way people think. This is why education is also so important, because you can inform somebody and hopefully change their mind. But if you just try to stop them from speaking, it's just going to come out. Oh, okay, I like that. Well, let's put this on the bingo card. Sean Duffy's daughter.
Well, but also, all those things you said, freedom of speech, education, everything that they want to control is under attack. And that's the point. But, I'm sorry. I think we've seen with every single No Kings protest, with every single, march and rally besides that, people come out because people are not going to bend to this system. It's not going to happen. I have faith that the midterms, regardless of what Trump has up his sleeve, because we all know it's coming, whatever it is, he will try. And, he's still doing his rallies, trying to make it seem like, he's not on a sinking ship, but it's going to be big. And the elections that we have seen are so hopeful. They have given me so much hope, which is exactly what everyone needs right now. Hope Corps.
Absolutely. So you and I met for the first time at the California Democratic Convention in February. That was super awesome. We had both, I recognized you and introduced myself, and then we ended up hanging out at the convention dinner, and that night we had such a great time. So
your daughter was the sweetest. If you guys don't know, I met Dina's daughter, and she is just lovely as can be, and she was working for a campaign.
Yes. Senator Ben Allen's, his insurance commission campaign. Exactly. She's working for
You are the mother to look up to, because you did a phenomenal job. She was so cool and just so lovely. I was like, I could stay and hang out with you guys all night.
Seriously, we did hang out all night.
We did.
Kept going. But she thought you were so cool. It was like, oh, Maggie's so fun. So if anybody wonders whether or not Maggie's as fun in real life, you absolutely are. I was just cracking up the whole night.
She can be the life of the party, that's for sure.
Yeah, you had, and also obviously so smart and insightful. And, here we are talking to, delegates and whatever. And it was just hilarious. We had a really great time. And somebody in one of the comments said that they really like your editing. And you, I thought, also really impressed me, because we were sitting there, we were listening to Nancy Pelosi's speech, and you're like, let's come up with this video. And you just, on the spot, came up with the whole idea of us mimicking Pelosi's clap that she infamously did to Trump after one of his lies at the State of the Union. And then you posted that. I think it got like almost 2 million views.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. Like, you are really good at what you do. I saw
I would like to say that happens often. It doesn't. But, you were in it. That's why it went far.
Oh my God.
Okay, period. But
no.
Listen, I dream ideas in my sleep.
Oh, cool.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you're just always
you start
creating.
About Donald Trump, you've got problems. Ugh. But, I do wake up in the middle. My husband knows. I'll wake up and he'll be like, I'm on my phone, like writing an idea down.
Yeah.
I'll wake up and I gotta go do this. Like, I'm always, a song will remind me of something. I've always just been a creative person, so it just kind of comes to me. But, editing, it's one of the things that I love, but I hate at the same time, because sometimes it takes a long time. But the results are always worth it for me. So, but it's fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. The editing for me is just like the least fun part, the tech part of just, but, that's really interesting. So yeah, you're just, I mean, and that comes through because like I said, kind of at the start, a lot of the news is not something to laugh at. You have to find that hook, as you often do. So yeah, just you're more creative at night, basically.
Well, I'm always creative. Night,
Always
day,
creative.
I'm always thinking. Something's always burning. But, when I'm this pissed off and sad, there is only one way to channel it, and that is to doing something. It's doing something, right? I try to get out in my community as much as I can. I'm always at every protest. I donate what I can to causes that, mean a lot to me, and to candidates that mean a lot to me. Being a mom, I'm busy, so I can't always be places. But what I can do is, and I can also boost people with my account. I spend a lot of time doing that as well, because there are so many great voices like yours and other people that have things to say that aren't me, that aren't talking about things that I'm not going to touch because there's nothing funny about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there's just certain things where it's, and there's only so far you can take jokes, I think, to a certain degree. And, when things are sad like that, refer to the experts, refer to the actual news, and let's be pissed off together. And then I can take that and work on something comedic that comes from it. But, it stems from it. We all, like I said before, we all work together. We all serve a purpose in this kind of community, right? In this political sphere.
I love that, because I do believe that is, how you get like any kind of actual activist power is by collaborating, bringing people in, making your community a larger community. But I don't know if everybody necessarily has a small enough ego to do that. Some people are good at that, and some people, frankly, are not. Miss Rachel is a perfect example. She's been doing that all the time now. But yeah, you do that too, the interaction on other people's posts. I feel like because I follow you, I get a lot of posts come my way that you have reposted.
I'm a repost queen.
Yeah, that you have reposted, and I'm like, oh, and they're always interesting, and I always like them. But that shows that you are kind of making your values. You're building the organization, really.
Well, I as a content creator, I do get criticism from people that why are you doing this right now when we should be talking about this? But also at the same time, I'll get people, thank you for this on this day. I couldn't have made it through the day without a laugh. So it's part of the work. I can't please everyone, but what I can do is try to be as well-rounded as I can in what I'm doing, whether or not it's, the things that I'm posting or the things that I'm boosting, because, like I said, some things are just not funny. Comedy is,
right.
There's
limits.
Donald Trump getting his diaper changed by his aide. Funny. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
What's happening in the Middle East? Not funny.
Right.
It's there's a lot, so comedy can only go so far in politics, but you also have to bring out the larger message. I will do, some serious posts when I'm really angry and pissed off sometimes, but I can't live in that space in general. I have to go back to comedy, or else if I'm too worked up and too anxious and too mad, it's going to come out in every aspect with my kids, with my life. I have to be able to compartmentalize it a little bit with the comedy.
Well, we thank you for that. We thank you for that, because we do need the comedy. We need the laughs. We need, part of Trump's thing is to seem like this, strong, viral man. And when you do what you do, you show that he's not. And so
I've been doing videos of Donald Trump as like a preschooler from day one, because, anyone with a modicum of intelligence can look at that man and say, okay, that's a low IQ guy, you know, taking one of his terms. It's actually mind-boggling that we are here right now and that he's actually the president.
Oh my gosh, mind-boggling.
I know. And every day, well, it's like, this is reality. You know?
Absolutely. I mean, even just their whole obsession about Natalie Harp is like, I mean, come on, can you have that kind of relationship anymore? You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to hold on to this idea of what he's not. And so your diaper videos are actually so important, even though they're also
Girl,
funny.
There's even more new Natalie Harp lore that I was just reading about today.
Shoot.
Apparently. Okay. What's his name? Wolf. He, on his podcast today, came out and said that Donald Trump's staff in 2024 talked about the potential that they asked if Donald Trump was spanking Natalie Harp. Like,
whoa.
And then there's also footage of her running after Donald Trump's golf cart. Have you seen that one? I saw that.
I've seen that one. I mean, I have to say, like, even her brother sounded like he was disturbed by her. I don't know what we're dealing with. I'm trying as much as possible to keep my focus on him because,
yes,
you know, I mean, he's the president. He's the one who has loyalty to this country. He's the one who's evidently not allowed, like, kept her despite having a security clearance.
Yes.
I mean,
well, that's concerning of it in itself, right? When it's like,
absolutely.
Wait, who is this woman that has the ear of our, you know, older president here? It's concerning. I think that's the underlining, you know, joke of it all, right?
Right.
Is that who is this woman that has the ear to the president, and why is she so important, and why is she going on the getaway plane? Why is she getting into the White House without security clearance? I know what that entails for people to get those kind of jobs. You go through rigorous interviews and things of that nature. This was just, okay. So that's concerning, you know?
Very concerning. And I'm sure there's a lot that the Republicans all know behind the scenes. As we know, a lot of these times these politicians talk to each other, not to the American people, but to each other. We know you're going to be on top of it and going to give us all the laughs about it. I know our time has ended here, but just like, I just so appreciate you. I really appreciate meeting you in person. I just love you're like the, I'm going to get it done kind of person. And, you know, we need you. We need you right now getting it done. We need it getting it done.
There's no option. We don't stop moving. We don't stop fighting. We don't stop until we don't stop. And, you know, I always quote Jon Stewart on this one. Politics is a lunch pail job. It's day in and day out.
Yeah.
It's freaking exhausting.
Yeah.
It's just when you think, oh, I did this video, I can take a deep breath. Nope. Something new comes in. It's day in, day out. But that's the fight. And, you know, that's another thing, you know, to teach our children and make them realize that they have to be involved, because this is no time to sit out in politics. This is the time that we have to keep going.
We have to keep going. But if we only cried at the news, we could not keep going.
Exactly.
So thank you for making us laugh.
My pleasure, Dina.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Hopefully we could talk again soon. Maybe.
Anytime.
And what's your last thing? You said just do something. What's your one piece of advice to the people left on this channel if they're looking to do something?
Wake up early. Go to bed late.
Okay.
Dead.
Okay.
You're dead. And we got a lot of life to live and a lot of life to fight for. So
we really do. Well, have a great rest of your Friday. Great weekend. Let's hope Trump doesn't make too much bad news.
I'm taking my daughter shopping for her dance right now.
Okay, there we go.
I'm on
there we go. Okay, tell her we said have fun, and if it's not fun, middle school is the worst of it all. So
yeah, we know.
It'll get better.
All right, bye, Dina. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye.